Welcome to the longest running quiz show in the area. Categories. High school students compete to answer questions on topics from art to science, history to current events. And now, here's your categories host, John Bartell.
Hi, welcome to Categories. Today we're bringing you a contest to determine who is the better of the Wests, perhaps, as we bring you the Blue Valley West Jaguars taking on the Shawnee Mission West Vikings. Let's go ahead and meet our competitors first from Blue Valley West.
Hi, I'm Olivia and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Sham. I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Curtis and I'm also a junior.
I'm Sandy and I'm a senior.
And I'm Cy and I'm a senior.
And our competitors from Shawnee Mission West.
I'm Jenny, I'm a senior, and my favorite African country is Zimbabwe.
I'm Jackie, I'm also a senior, and my favorite African country is Egypt.
I'm Austin, I'm a sophomore, and my favorite African country is Djibouti.
I'm Hannah, I'm a senior, and my favorite African country is South Sudan.
I'm Detchen, I'm also a senior, and my favorite African country is Kenya.
All right, fantastic. I'm John Bartell, I'm your host. I agree with Jackie. I think Egypt is my favorite African country. The rest of you are living in denial. Yeah, you're welcome. Here in the first round of categories, we will take turns answering questions. And if the team answers correctly, they will earn a point for their team. If they answer incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to steal that category. We did a coin toss before we started taping to determine who would get the first question. It was won by Shawnee Mission West. So Vikings, here is the first question, and it is geography. Bordeaux is a region in France. Where is Bavaria located? Hannah?
Germany.
Germany is correct. Over to you, Jaguars. Poetry. The New Colossus is the title of a poem written by Emma Lazarus in 1883. At that time, few people recognized the value of that poem, but today it is very famous. For what reason? Olivia.
It's on the Statue of Liberty.
It's on the Statue of Liberty. Very good. Back to you, Vikings, with U.S. presidents. It's September 1881. The president called Abraham Lincoln's son, Robert, to the White House to tell him every details of Lincoln's assassination. 2 days later, the president himself was shot and killed. Name him. Austin?
John F. Kennedy.
I'm sorry, it is not John F. Kennedy. Jaguars, chance to steal this U.S. president? Sean?
James Garfield.
It is Garfield. Very good. Jaguars, you do get the next question. U.S. history this time. This glamorous First Lady saved many important state papers from destruction when the British burned the White House. Sean?
Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison is correct. Over to you, Vikings, with current events. Give the name of the social media company whose shares went on sale at the New York Stock Exchange for the first time last month. Jenny?
Twitter.
It is Twitter. Over to you, Jaguars, with the question on time. What time is it in London when it is noon in New York? Cy?
6 p.m.
It is not 6 p.m. Vikings, chance to steal this question. The category is time. What time is it in London when it is noon in New York? Hannah?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. Vikings, back to you with a sports question. Nepal hosts the championships of the elephant version of what game that's usually played on horseback? Hannah?
Polo.
Polo. Over to you, Jaguars, with a health question. Some need more, some need less. Temple University scientists say most adults need 8 hours of it each day. What am I talking about? Olivia?
Sleep.
Sleep. Back to you, Vikings, with medicine. An individual from whom tissue is taken for transfer to another is called what? Jackie?
Donor.
Donor. Back to you, Jaguars, with literature. Stephen Crane wrote The Red Badge of Courage. What was the Red Badge of Courage in this book? Curtis?
A bandage.
Let me check on that. Can you be more specific, please? A used bandage. We will take that. Vikings, back to you with movies. In what movie did Judy Garland sing "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas"? Hannah?
White Christmas.
It is not White Christmas. Jaguars, chance to steal this movie's category. In what movie did Judy Garland sing "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas"? Sean?
The Night Before Christmas.
It is not The Night Before Christmas. Matter of fact, Christmas isn't even in the title. It's Meet Me in St. Louis. Jaguars, though, you do get the next question. It is universities and colleges. Following the Glorious Revolution in England in 1688, they were made rulers of that country. They lent their... Sandy.
William and Mary.
William and Mary. Very good. Vikings, back to you. It's a fairly long question, so please pay attention. The category is art. The school of art developed slightly prior to Cubism. In this style, color served various means. It was expressive rather than descriptive. It stimulated reaction rather than recognition. Colors were applied in the strongest hue, and short, broad brush strokes created the impression of patchwork of glaring color. Matisse, Rouault, and even Picasso were associated with this movement. Name it. Hannah?
Impressionism.
It is not Impressionism. Jaguars, chance to steal this art question. Olivia?
Fauvism.
Fauvism, very good. Jaguars, you do get the next question. It is U.S. government. The Equal Rights Amendment was passed by the Senate and sent to the states for ratification during which decade? Sean?
The 1860s.
Cannot accept 1860s. Vikings, chance to steal this U.S. government category. The Equal Rights Amendment was passed by the Senate and sent to the states for ratification during which decade? Hannah?
1970s.
1970s is what we were looking for. Vikings, back to you with an archaeology question. What ancient conqueror's final resting place did scientists claim they discovered near the Egyptian oasis of Siwa in 1995? Hannah?
Alexander the Great.
It is Alexander the Great. Very good. Jaguars, back to you with geography. It is the only major U.S. river that simply disappears, seeping into the desert sands. Which river just goes away after leaving the country? Curtis?
The Rio Grande.
It is not the Rio Grande. Vikings, back to you. A chance to steal this geography question. It is the only major U.S. river that simply disappears, seeping into the desert sands. Which river just goes away after leaving the country? Hannah?
The Colorado.
It is the Colorado. Vikings, you do get the next question. It's Civil War history. The flag of the Confederacy contains a diagonal cross with 13 stars, one for each of the Confederate states and 2 for the slaveholding Union states that failed to join the South. What are those 2 border states? Hannah?
Maryland and Missouri.
I'm sorry, can I accept Maryland and Missouri? Jaguars, chance to steal the Civil War history question. The flag of the Confederacy contains a diagonal cross with 13 stars, one for each of the Confederate states and 2 for the slaveholding Union states that failed to join the South. What are those 2 border states? Sean?
Kentucky and Missouri.
Kentucky and Missouri, very good. Back to you, Jaguars, with this current events question. A Democrat just won the New York City's mayoral race in a landslide. Name him. Olivia.
De Blasio.
De Blasio, very good. Vikings, back to you with In the News for the category. Joseph Pulitzer gained fame and recognition as both a journalist and the originator of the highly coveted Pulitzer Prize. What newspaper did Joseph Pulitzer own? Austin?
The New York Times.
It is not the New York Times. Jaguars, chance to steal this In the News category. Joseph Pulitzer gained fame and recognition as both a journalist and the originator of the highly coveted Pulitzer Prize. What newspaper did Joseph Pulitzer own? Olivia?
The New York Times.
It's not the New York Times. Again, it's all right. He owns The World, a newspaper called The World. Jaguars, you do get the next question. It is economics. This economic system in which companies or individuals own and manage most of all the nation's economic activity. Identify this concept. Curtis.
Market economy.
Cannot accept market economy, sorry. Vikings, chance to steal this economics question. This is an economic system in which companies or individuals own and manage most or all of the nation's economic activity. Identify this concept. Hannah?
Oligopoly.
I cannot accept oligopoly. We're just looking for capitalism or free enterprise on that one. Vikings, you do get the next category. It is music. Name the piece subtitled Symphonic Tale for Children, first performed at the Children's Theater in Moscow in 1936. Hannah?
The Nutcracker.
It is not the Nutcracker. Jaguars, chance to steal this music category. Name the piece subtitled Symphonic Tale for Children. Sandy?
Peter and the Wolf.
It is Peter and the Wolf. Jaguars, back to you with plastics as the question. Polyethylene is a plastic used in detergent bottles and trash bags. Which polyplastic is used to make coffee cups and plastic forks? Sean?
Polystyrene.
Polystyrene. Nice job. Vikings, science is your category. In 4 hours, the Earth rotates how many degrees? Jenny?
60.
It is 60. Jaguars, back to you with doctrines as the category. Given a complete description of the past, it is possible to calculate the future in its entirety using the laws of nature. This is just one of the results of the doctrine advanced by Friedrich Nietzsche, which states that every event depends only on its antecedents. Name this philosophical doctrine. Curtis?
Nihilism.
I'm sorry, cannot accept that. Vikings, chance to steal this doctrines category. Given a complete description of the past, it is possible to calculate the future in its entirety using the laws of nature. This is just one of the results of the doctrine advanced by Friedrich Nietzsche, which states that every event depends only on its antecedents. Name this philosophical doctrine. Determinism. Determinism is what we're looking for. Vikings, back to you with movies. What actress sings Falling in Love Again in the motion picture The Blue Angel? Jaguars, to you with this movie's question. What actress sings Falling in Love Again in the motion picture The Blue Angel? Sandy?
Barbara Streisand.
It is not Barbara Streisand. Good guess. Marlene Dietrich. Jaguars, you do get the next question. It is geography. This group of islands stretches from the east coast of Florida to the north coast of Cuba. Sean?
Florida Keys.
I'm sorry, can I accept Florida Keys? Vikings, chance to steal this geography question. This group of islands stretches from the east coast of Florida to the north coast of Cuba. It is made up of over 700 islands, including the Biminis, San Salvador, and Anagua. Name the group. Hannah?
The Bahamas.
It is the Bahamas. U.S. government is your category, Vikings, for this next question. You know what? We're going to start off with that as our lightning round question right after we do our look and listen. That siren does denote the end of our first half, and we have a tight game with Blue Valley West leading with a score of 11 to Shawnee Mission West 10. At this part of our program, we will go to a representative from each school to give us a campus update. And we have Curtis from Blue Valley West. Curtis, what is happening with the Jaguars?
Well, our music department had a fantastic weekend. They had district tryouts. In particular, our band was really great. Our school had more people than any other qualified to the district band competition. In addition, on Friday, we beat Bishop Miege. We were very, very happy about that win. That's one more step in the road to state. Additionally, our debate team took second at a very, very large tournament. There were more than 100 people in the varsity division down at Mays, Kansas. So also very happy about that.
All right, awesome. And going over to Hannah with the Vikings, tell us what's happening over at Shawnee Mission West?
Well, we just got the casting results for our upcoming winter musical, The Wizard of Oz. We also had a good weekend for the choir. 17 students from West made district choir. We are also still state football champions until such time as we are beaten.
Fantastic. Well, if good things happening at both schools, I love to hear that it's done academically, athletically, and with all types of performing arts. It's fantastic. As we head into our second round, we will start with our with our look and listen question, in which we will ask a question here, and we have a monitor for the contestants here in the studio that they can not only listen to the clue, but also visually see it, as well as those playing at home. Remember, the look and listen question is worth 2 points. So here we go, contestants. Name this cowboy, vaudeville performer, social commentator, and motion picture actor who liked all men.
America's favorite humorist.
That was Will Rogers. Will Rogers. Okay, as we begin the second round here after the look and listen is the lightning round, in which we place a question on the floor for either team to answer. If a team does respond correctly, they earn a point. If they respond incorrectly, once again, the other team will get a chance to steal. So let's pick up where we left off with the U.S. government for both teams. The Senate has 18 permanent committees, while the House has 22. What are such permanent committees called? Olivia?
Standing committees?
They are standing committees. Sports for both teams. Professional sports teams, even in a zone defense formation, seldom use a 6-3-2-1 alignment. Why not? Curtis?
It's banned.
Can you give a reason why?
It's too aggressive.
I cannot accept that. Vikings. Jenny?
There are more than 11 players on the field.
That's correct. 6-3-2-1 is a 12-person alignment. You're only allowed 11. Both teams, here we go. Photographers is the next category. A famous chronicler of the war between the states was a New York photographer who accompanied the armies through much of the fighting. Name this man whose photographs captured the horror of the Civil War. It was Matthew Brady. Matthew Brady. Geography for both teams. What country contains more lakes in inland waters than any other country in the world? Hannah?
Michigan?
It is not Michigan. Jagros, chance to steal this geography question. What country contains more lakes in inland waters than any other country in the world? Si?
Canada?
It is Canada. U.S. history for both teams. Omar Bradley was affectionately known as the GI's general, and this nickname is said to have given him a greater sense of pride than any of his ranks in the Army. What final military rank did he achieve during his career? Curtis?
5-star general.
5-star general. Math is the next category for both teams. Express 1945 in Roman numerals. Shawn?
MCMXLV.
Perfect. Both teams, current events is the next category. 3 days of high-level talks on Iran's nuclear program ended without a deal because an agreement was blocked by what country? Olivia?
France.
France. You open up a bit of a lead here. Blue Valley West 16 to Shawnee Mission West 11. Law is the next category. If you were approached and menacingly threatened with bodily injury, the assailant would be guilty of what? Shawn?
Battery.
Sorry, cannot accept battery. Vikings, you have a chance to steal this law category. If you were approached and menacingly threatened with bodily injury, the assailant would be guilty of what? Austin?
Assault.
Assault is what we're looking for. Both teams, science is the category. Any even-toed hoofed animal, including those that chew the cud, such as oxen, sheep, goats, antelope, giraffes, and camels, are called what? Sean.
Even-toed ungulates.
Sorry, I cannot accept that. Vikings, chance to steal the science category. Any even-toed hoofed animal, including those that chew the cud, such as oxen, sheep, goats, antelope, giraffes, and camels, are called what? Dutchin?
Cloven-hoofed.
I cannot accept cloven-hoofed. We're looking for ruminant. Ruminant. We will take that as a challenge, and we'll have that looked up, and we'll have an answer for you before the end, okay? Both teams, as we carry on here, while we're getting that card checked, the next category is literature. James Fenimore Cooper based the character of Natty Bumppo on which man who was born in 1734? Hannah?
Daniel Boone.
It is Daniel Boone. Both teams, literature is the category. Before descending to the underworld, Aeneas breaks a branch from a sacred tree. The name of that branch appears again much later in literature as the title for a 12-volume work on comparative folklore, mythology, and religion by Sir James Frazer. What's the name of the branch? Sandy?
The olive branch.
It is not the olive branch. Vikings chance to steal this literature category. Before descending to the underworld, Aeneas breaks a branch from a sacred tree. The name of that branch appears again much later in literature as the title for a 12-volume work on comparative folklore, mythology, and religion by Sir James Frazer. What's the name of the branch? Hannah?
The laurel wreath.
It is not the laurel wreath. It's the golden bough. The golden bough. Table settings is the next category for both teams. What common utensil would you find set above the plate when you sit down to dine in Dresden? Hannah?
The spoon.
It is the spoon. Science for both teams. What protein complexes in low and high density types move cholesterol? Olivia?
Hemoglobin.
I cannot accept hemoglobin. Vikings, chance to steal the science category. What protein complexes in low and high density types move cholesterol in the bloodstream? We're looking for lipoproteins. U.S. history for both teams. Of the American Revolution, what influential colonist wrote, "'Tis not the affair of a city or province, but of a continent"? Austin?
Thomas Paine.
Thomas Paine wrote that. British history for both teams. He was awarded the Medal of the British Empire by Queen Elizabeth II in 1983 for his work as a radio operator on the isolated South Pacific island of Pitcairn. Name this man's great-great-great-grandfather. Fletcher Christian. Math for both teams. What common fraction has a decimal equivalent of 0.0833? Sean.
833 over 10,000.
We'll double check that.
By the way, did you say repeat? Okay, never mind.
I don't think I can think. I'm sorry, I cannot accept that. West, chance to steal. What common fraction has a decimal equivalent of 0.0833? Hannah?
3/16.
No, we're looking for 112. I understand.
So my answer is correct.
We will double check that. All right.
It is a common fraction. 833 over 10,000 is a common fraction.
All right, let's continue with geography as the next category for both teams. The tallest peaks of the Hindu Kush mountain system lie on the border between which two nations? Sean.
China and Pakistan.
I'm sorry, cannot accept that. Vikings, geography is the category. The tallest peaks of the Hindu Kush mountain system lie on the border between which two nations? Deshin?
India and Pakistan.
Now, Pakistan's one of them. The other one is Afghanistan, the tallest peaks of that mountain range. Science, biology for both teams. A mandrake is a woodland plant. What is a mandrill? Olivia?
It's a primate.
It's a primate. Very good. Architecture or definitions in architecture. This is the term applied in architecture to 16th century English building. It is characterized by decorative use of Renaissance styles superimposed on native perpendicular. What is this style? Sandy?
Gothic.
It is not Gothic. Vikings, chance to steal this definition's architecture. This is the term applied in architecture to 16th century English building. It is characterized by the decorative use of Renaissance styles superimposed on native perpendicular. What is this style? Hannah?
Baroque.
It is not Baroque, it's Tudor. Tudor. Both teams, here we go. Royalty is the category. Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer were married in London's largest church. Sandy?
Westminster Abbey.
It is not Westminster Abbey. Vikings, you have a chance to steal this royalty question. Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer were married in London's largest church. Name it. St. Paul's Cathedral. St. Paul's Cathedral. Geography is the next category for both teams. Most of the 78 million people in Vietnam live in two extensive river deltas, one each in old North Vietnam and South Vietnam. Name either one of these two river deltas. Sean.
Mekong River Delta.
Mekong is one of them. The other one is the Red. Sports for both teams. What do we call the rare feat of finishing a basketball game with two-digit numbers in 4 statistical categories? Side.
A quadruple double.
A quadruple double. Very good. Mythology for both teams. In Greek mythology, the god of the dead was Pluto. His Egyptian counterpart was the husband of Isis. Name him. Sean.
Cyrus.
Osiris. Religion for both teams. 2 countries adopted St. Nicholas as their patron saint. Name either one of them. Hannah.
Finland.
It is not Finland. Jaguars, chance to steal this religion category. 2 countries adopted St. Nicholas as their patron saint. Name either one of them. Curtis.
Russia.
Russia is one. The other is Greece. Literature for both teams. Name the man whom Edmond Dantes is accused of plotting to return to France in Alexander Dumas' novel, The Count of Monte Cristo. Olivia?
Danglars.
I'm sorry, cannot accept that. Vikings, chance to steal this literature question. Name the man whom Edmond Dantes was accused of plotting to return to France in Alexander Dumas' novel, The Count of Monte Cristo. Hannah?
The Count of Monte Cristo.
No, it's not it's Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte. However, we are denoted with a siren that makes this the final question. All right, so we will take room minutes. And then we will take, since it was not a 3 repeating, the lowest common one, because that's 833 cannot be reduced, your answer would also be correct, which gives you a total of 23 as opposed to 21. So that is our final score, Shawnee Mission West 15, and as we reviewed the questions and gave both challenges as an award or a correct answer, Blue Valley West has 23. Well played game by both teams. Please join us again next time on Categories as we will bring you another well played match between the best and brightest minds of high school students all throughout Johnson County.